Today I'm going to shift my attention from the engine to the heater core. I want to prep the vehicle for the receiving of the engine, and I have everything brand new. New radiator, new hoses, new water pump. The heads have been clean, everything is clean. The one thing that hasn't been cleaned is that heater core. But before we get into this video, I first want to send a shout out to Abdul and David. You know, both those guys have contributed to the channel recently, and I don't know what the protocol is. I've never received any donations to this channel before. I just want to give you guys a shout out, and I want you guys to know that, you know, I really do appreciate the donations. And I also want to, you know, do what I can to help you with your project, which reminds me, you know, Abdul, for example, his 380 SL doesn't start. So, well, you know, this hasn't started. So before I do a start, I'll be doing a checkpoint. Those are all the things that you can check as well. You know, and that's something I'm going to do before I do a startup. Stay tuned for that. Again, you know, I just want to acknowledge these guys for, you know, contributing to the channel. Any monies that I receive in this channel will go directly into this channel. I'm not going to go out and have a drink on your dime. All right? So that's one thing I won't do. If you guys want to help out this channel, you can do the same. There's two ways. One way is like what Abdul did, and he clicked on my PayPal link that I have set up in my account. That's probably the best because, you know, they don't take as much. But YouTube's thanks button right down there, you can click on that thanks button and then choose whatever amount that you want to contribute. You know, if I've saved you some time and money, you know, don't just throw money away. You know, I'm here to stay, and I'm going to do what I got to do, but, you know, those donations would certainly help me out. There's no doubt about that. I got to get back down inside that engine, so let's get this video going. So this here is one of the hoses that comes out, as you can see, and I have a bucket down there where I'm hoping to drain this into. Then on this side, you have your monovalve. If you have a faulty monovalve, don't buy a Euro or one of the aftermarkets. You're not going to be able to buy a Bosch, but there is a company that you can purchase from. Klima.com. From what I understand, that monovalve is great. This is your auxiliary water pump. This is what plugs in to the back of the engine. It's a hose that comes up along here. It's got a couple of heat rings on it and sits in there like that. And then this end here would plug into the back of your engine. But this auxiliary pump right here, if it fails, again, don't purchase an aftermarket. Instead, from the same company, get your auxiliary water pump from here. Again, from what I understand, these things are fantastic and worth the money. So an inlet here, outlet here, into the back of the engine. And then this side will plug into the other side of the engine. So this is the hose that goes into the back of the engine on the right side and then hooks into your auxiliary water pump. And that's the part number for that. So let's start by taking this off just to see what we got behind here. I don't know what to expect. All it is just a flat washer and a screw. Are you guys curious to see what we've got? Hey! You know, you guys, oh boy, that's really bright, isn't it? This is what I mean by Tony Live. If I don't push the right button, this is what's going to get recorded. Let's see what we've got underneath this. It seems pretty easy. Well, we've got a rubber gasket. And boy, those hoses are going to be, you're not going to get them from here, I don't think. So that hose goes there and goes all the way up. But you know what? It goes in a place that you still can't really get to from here. Let's look at this other side. It's easier. And then there's the clamp is right up there. And I don't believe there's any way that they did the clamp from here. If you notice, that's the bottom of the bolt. So that means they come up from the top somewhere. And if you look, you've got this vent. But other than that, you guys, I want you to see how nice and clean it is in here. There is a hole. Do you see that? Yeah, there it is. That hole is a drainage hole. And there's one on the other side. Right down in there is the other hole. So I'm not going to be replacing those hoses, but what I will be doing still is I'm going to flush that heater core. So I don't know if you know or not, but the way that this monovalve actually works is it's open when there's no power. So I should be able to blow from the other side and blow through here and come out of here. I can put this on and then I can dump into this bucket over here. So let me attach that. So now if I blow into this, it should flow into this bucket. What do you think? You think it's going to work? It might already be dry. I'm going to be flushing it with some distilled water. I'm just going to get a bucket and a funnel and just fill it and just keep doing this until it's clean. Well, it says it's full to here. So now we're going to help it out. Okay, now I'm going to blow on this. You guys can see me in the reflection there. I'm going to continue to do this over and over and over until this comes clear. You see what I go through, you guys? Now I'm using distilled water only. You know, I know people hook it up to the garden hose and all that, but here in Arizona, this water is so hard you can actually use it as cereal. Right there, look at that, it's full. Well, I've got a 5-gallon bucket. Or not a bucket, but a 5-gallon container outside where I'm going to dispose of this for now, and then we'll see if it's running clear. Pretty dirty. But what's nice, though, is that we know it held water or coolant. There's no leaks. That's a good thing. Let's continue to flush. This is how I have to go to work in the morning. You know, since I don't have an engine in here, I just have to sit on the subframe and push. I'm still flushing the system, and I have a bright light in my face. You can see that bucket is completely clear. Still got a little bit of dirt in there. Are you guys curious on what kind of coolant I will put into this car? Well, the only coolant that I'm going to put in this car is champagne, because this car deserves champagne. I go through the craziest things. I'm inside the cavity of a car. I'm happy with that. Actually, this is the coolant that I'm going to use. I use this in my BMW as well. I feel it's a good coolant. It works for me. You notice that this one here is for Mercedes pre-2014. We definitely have a pre-2014. Put it in here until it comes out over there, and I'll blow it too, because I want to make sure that we fill this entire cavities, you know, as well as the monovalve. All that will actually fill up if it comes out of this tube right here. Already pre-mixed 50-50, which is what we're going to be using. Now when I put my mouth on this, you know, in 24 hours, if this video doesn't go up, you guys, you know I'm in my garage and I died from drinking antifreeze. I gotta have it come out that other side, guys. So I have to put my mouth around this, and I do this for you. Can you imagine if that was the end of my videos? All of a sudden, you know, I know I was gonna flush out that radiator or flush out that heater core. What the heck happened? You never did another video. Let's see if we can get it to come out. Still clear, right? And I'm taking it easy because I want to push all the air out of the cavities. You can already see the blue coming. I'm putting this in because, you know, we want to make sure that all our parts and everything are lubricated and protected, because this is how you prevent rust and all that. You don't want to leave this stuff dry. I'm feeling a little dizzy, guys. My stomach's starting to hurt. That's about where I want to do it, because I don't want to push it out, right? I just want the air bubbles to come out. I'll put a little bit more in, and then we'll plug up these hoses. Yep, she's full. So we'll leave that full like that. I'm going to put a plug on there, and then we'll be good to go. So what I did is I filled each one of these lines up with the antifreeze, and then I capped them off. This is an old line, by the way. I'll change that to the new line, which I purchased later, not now. But I went ahead and filled this, so I know this top one's full, the monovalve is full, the auxiliary pump is full, and both lines are full because I filled them. And then I just put this bucket here, you know, just in case if it leaks. I just don't want it to get on the floor and have some animal or something go over there. In a future video though, you guys, I want to change this pipe here that goes up inside, each one that comes off the heater core. I do eventually want to do that. It's not that difficult, but you got to take your vents off. And so I thought, hey, let's just wait for another video. Either I'll do a whole thing on all the hoses, because I have all new hoses, or you know, we'll just make separate videos in the future, like maybe deal with all the heater core hoses and then testing the pump and test, you know, we can test the monovalve too. So, I mean, we can do all that. We can just test it, make sure the pump is actually flowing. Some people hear this thing, but it doesn't actually pump. Well, at least we know we can flow through, so we have other ways to test whether or not the pump works. But all that's for a future video, you guys. I'm just looking inside this cavity here and seeing what, you know, needs to be done before I do it. And I'll give you guys a, you know, a review of that before we drop the engine in. Definitely give you a nice bird's eye view, because everything in here is new. You guys will really appreciate all the work I've done underneath this car. Until the next one, you guys, thanks again for watching.